Hi guys, Dave Pinson here, Philippine Bible Ministry. This is a message to my Facebook friends that it'll be posted on YouTube, of course, on my Philippine Bible Ministry channel. But it's just something that came in my heart the last actually since Charlie Kirk died, was murdered, and some stuff happened, and something I've been chewing on for years actually. That's just come to its final head. And so what I'm gonna do in Facebook is I'm gonna block all of my favored news channels and some of my political, I guess I don't know what you call them. They're not bloggers. I don't know what you call them on Facebook. Facebookers, posters, those who post. I'm gonna block all those. Because I need to stay out of politics. Not that I'm not political, not that I don't have strong opinions, not that I'm not. I'm a very, by the way, I'm a very strong conservative. What's called a conservative. I would call myself a constitutional conservative. Mark Levin. That's if you want to know. I know you hate him. So here's what I want to say. I didn't mean to say that. I mean, here's the point. Ready? First comes God, then comes family, then comes others, then comes nation. Then I guess last comes self. Why? Why does self come last? So let's just talk about that first real quick. Then I'll get back to that, and then I'll tell you what's going on. Um, Self comes last because Jesus said you must deny yourself. You must die to yourself. You must turn away from things. What? Not everything. Not everything. Like we shouldn't have any entertainment. We shouldn't ever eat food we like. We shouldn't have a nice home. No. We're not saying that. What we're saying when we mean deny self, we mean, here's what I mean by that. Anything that opposes God, right, that's in my heart or in my life, especially my flesh, in other words, the world, the flesh, and the devil are our enemies. So we try to deny things that aren't neutral. So that's what I mean by that. So I come last. So what does that mean? So after nation comes like maybe entertainment, right? Now I have a personal belief, and some of you probably have it. Most of you probably don't. I don't put anything into my mind and heart. I try not to put anything in there that's offensive to God, and therefore it's offensive to me. That's why I don't watch R-rated, MA, and now it's even TV-14. I don't watch any of those shows or movies, which is difficult. Sometimes you just go to any channel and try to find stuff that's not. PG-13, I still watch those, and mostly that's fine. Not always. Sometimes they don't. The weird thing in the Philippines is that the ratings are different. They don't find stuff offensive here as much, so you can find R-rated stuff that they've listed PG-13. Right. So I don't want to watch anything like that. So other than that, I think like for me would become Chargers probably. Honestly, I love the Chargers. I love football. I watch college football. I just love football. I know it's a violent sport. It's probably very unChrist-like. I don't know. Um, but I just love the challenge of it. I love I just love football, right? And I think although the National Football League and some of the organizations, the NCAA, they may do horrible things that I think are disgusting against God. I don't care because I'm watching the players and I'm watching the team, and I don't really like when the Chargers left San Diego. I wasn't mad at the Chargers. I just because I follow the players, and that's a whole other story. I'm not going to get into that. So first comes God. So what does that mean? So the whole purpose of my Facebook page. So it has a couple purposes, but the main purpose of my Facebook page is to lead people to Jesus because that's the main purpose of my life. Because Jesus died on a cross to bring the world to him, and he wants me to bring people to Christ. That's it. That's the whole point. That's the point of my life, guys. That people don't normally sell everything they have and move to a foreign country that they don't like to bring people to Christ because God told me to do it, and so I'm obedient. That's the whole other issue. You want to say, well, this guy's nuts. Yes, I'm nuts. So God's first in my life. Anything that honors God, and you know, I want to show. Here's what I want to do. I want to show other people the love of God through my life, and I want to love you, all of my friends and followers on Facebook, and anybody who watches my YouTube videos. All 5 of you, sometimes 15. But I want to show you that I love you, and we want to make disciples of Jesus. That's the main thing. Jesus said, "Go make disciples of all the world, and then baptize, and then do all the other. But first, make disciples." Right. So that is the point of my life, really. And then second comes family. So I have family. I have birth family. I have children, you know, I have cousins, I have a father that's still alive, I have family that I love. And so I decided that family is more important to me than nation because a lot of my family is over there, way over there on the other side of the political and social thought, like worldview. They're way over there. Some call themselves Christians. I'm not going to get into all that, but they're way over there. And so I can't really say the things that I believe politically very much because it offends people and they kick back. And I've got two that are always, and I've got others that are just, they're just polar opposites. And at the end of the day, I don't really care. I don't really care. You know, it's like, what do I mean by that? It's not that I don't care who they are and I don't want them to believe what I do. Of course I do. It's that I'm not going to let that get in the way of my love for them. They may get it. Unfortunately, a lot of people will not love you or care for you if you don't believe what they believe. And that's not me. And that's not what Jesus told us to do. Is that hate? Well, Jesus said, what did he say about family? He said a couple of things. One of them says, you must hate your family. And so he doesn't mean you must hate your family. He must mean you must love God first. So it comes down to decision, you know. If my family says I don't like what you believe and I believe that you hate people I love or whatever it is, and so therefore unless you drop your beliefs, then I can no longer be considered your family, and I'm gonna shun you, gonna banish you from my heart. Then I have to go with God and say, I'm sorry about that. I'll pray for you, and I love you, and it breaks my heart, and I will pray with a bleeding heart for you, and literally with tearful prayer, and I do, and that's happened to people in my family. So I've decided to block all that stuff. Why? I still have that stuff on my YouTube because YouTube's not as interactive. It is bait central sometimes, and so Facebook is very divisive, and Facebook sometimes, well, let's say somebody likes a certain, well, obviously if I'm a conservative, I'll go ahead and name them because I'm not going to watch them anymore. I'm not going to put them on. I'm not following them on Facebook anymore. Like Fox News, I like a lot of stuff on Fox News. I don't like everything on Fox News. I'm not crazy, but I like a lot of stuff on Fox News, and I like some of the people on there, right? But there are people. So this is why I give the example. It's got nothing to do with Fox News. Anything. If you like CNN, there are people that will take the Fox News video or the Fox News logo and they'll put it on Facebook and then they'll put a bunch of crap in there, what I call like opposite of what they're saying or so they're just trying to get clickbait so you can open it. Did they really say that? And then it's like, no, it's up BS, and they just want you to to follow them so they can monetize and make money. That's all. That's what most of the world's about, right? So I'm stopping that because it gets my heart going, and I get upset and I start saying things, and so I'm just gonna block it. Now I'm not blocking my friends that have strong political views. A lot of them agree with me. You post something on Facebook, I'll see it, and I'm not going to block that. If it's too, here's the only way I will block or unfollow friends. There's the only way, and I've done this to a couple. Um, if you are swearing, if you are using vile language, if you are hateful in your posts, vile language and swearing is a big thing for me. The same reason I don't watch R-rated movies, like I just said. So if you're using those, and I don't want to get into the whole argument of you've already lost the argument intellectually, and I'm so sad that some people out there think it's okay to swear, and that it actually makes them strong. It actually makes you weak and stupid to me. Like anyway, that's all there's. But if I'm gonna not watch movies and TVs, then I'm not gonna watch posts that are, oh, I don't like this guy. Well, here's the thing. Well, f him. It's like, well then unfollow. So please, if I'm not going to unfollow any of my friends unless you're doing that. If you're using profane language, because I don't do profane language, guys, right? And so I mean I even thought about doing this, and maybe I'll do it since I brought it up. I won't name all the names. I already named Fox News, but there are certain people that I really like, and they're over here in my safe list because I like everything they say. Victor Davis Hanson, I'll just list him. He's very conservative. He's very mellow. What's that black guy's name? Sewell. Thomas Sewell. That's his name. Guys like that are very intellectual and very mellow and very calm. And if you listen to what they say, so those guys are on my. And then there's guys that are on my okay list. Like a lot of times I agree with them. I might agree with them on some main things, but they say some really stupid things, and they seem to be like Greg Gutfeld. Okay, Greg Gutfeld. So I do agree with him politically. I'm sorry. I know I'm not trying to not to be political. I think he's very funny. I think he's of all the late night guys, he's the only one that's funny because I don't know, whatever. But I don't like his crass humor, and I keep telling myself you need to quit watching this, but I'm sort of addicted to it. So that's one of my sinful pleasures. But I want to stop. Why? Because I don't like his crass humor. His sexual humor is disgusting. What is wrong with this guy? Well, we love this. Shut up. You know, right? So that's an example of what I'm trying to stay away from, even if I agree with you, right? So anyway, so that's what's going on, guys. I'm gonna post something on Facebook. I'm gonna post this on Facebook and tell people why I'm doing certain things. But I want to follow my friends because I want you all to follow Christ, and I want you to know the love of God, and the love of God. That's why I say first comes God, then comes family, then comes other people. Yeah, He will know you by your love for other people. That Jesus said, "Love your enemies." So loving other people, right? And then comes your nation. I think your nation is that part of other people. Yes. So I'm still very patriotic to America, right? But America, for example, I'll just close. I guess I'm almost done. America has legal abortion. Abortion is a murder of an unborn child. It's not just killing it; it's murder. There's a difference between murder and killing. The Ten Commandments actually, in the original language, doesn't say "Thou shalt not kill." It says "Thou shalt not murder." What's the difference? Murder is the taking of an innocent life. I'm not going to get into what that means. If you don't understand it, you can send me a question. So I don't know that I can be that strong of America's great if they still have abortion. I mean, I and even my favorite politician, some of them say, well, we can allow it up to so many months, and this because we don't want to, and essentially they're saying because we don't want to lose elections. And I did a whole video on that. If that causes you to lose elections, then you should never win an election, right? Anyway, so that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm trying to stick to the Lord and my family, and basically that's it because this is my life. Um, I know it's crazy. Nobody watches these. I'll get 5 people go, yeah, good job. Maybe I'll post it in words because some people don't watch videos. God bless you guys. But the other thing I want to say is, if you do want to have conversations, like I know there's a handful of people who know me politically and agree with me politically, and if you want to have a private conversation on Messenger, that's a great place. And even if you disagree with me, that's a great. As long as we can be respectful to each other, then we can have conversations on Messenger, right? And that's fine, unless you're a real close family, because then I don't even want to open that door because I don't want to lose my family. It's more important that I keep my family no matter how crazy I think they are because I want them to know how much I love them. God bless you guys. Ta ta for now.